What's up, guys? This is Joy Wisdom, and I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys and share a few of my thoughts. So, I work at a cafe. I've been working there for a few years, and something that kind of stayed in my memory was a couple of days ago. There was a couple, husband and wife, with two kids. They came into the cafe, and the guy just looked very controlling, and one of the kids wanted like a bottle of water, and he was like, why do you need a bottle of water? There's free water on the corner. And then the woman, I heard her say, they just started arguing in front of me, and I was like attending to them. She was like, well, if they want the bottle of water, just give it to them. So then he just ended up asking for the bottle of water, and he just wasn't nice in general. And so they're eating whatever, and then he asked for a coffee. And then he didn't ask for decaf when one of my coworkers was already making it, whatever. He started arguing about the coffee and the name of it, and he just really was a person that just wanted to argue with every female coworker in there. I'm really one to avoid conflict and stuff, and I just do what they say, and that's it. So my coworker knew that he was difficult and just like, okay, well, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, when they were eating the whole time, you could, every time I passed by the table, she looked, like the wife had this face of victim, and the kids were just very submissive. And it makes me sad that women, I mean, I know it happens to men too, but men don't talk about it because they're men, and I know there's this whole double standard with men and women and abuse from their partner. But it makes me so sad that women, I can only speak for women, that they deal with these toxic relationships, and that's what scares me the most. Every time I meet someone, whoever I'm dating or whatever, and it becomes toxic, even with friends, sometimes the friendship can become toxic, and once someone starts to, make me feel bad or blame me for the way I feel and the way I say things, and they make me the bad person. I just stay out of that friendship, relationship, whatever it is. It just makes me sad that women just keep dealing with a man that doesn't value them. And going back to the story, this man, once they finished their food, the man just walked out of the cafe and kept walking. He didn't even wait for his wife and his kids to leave the cafe. He just kept walking, and them just walking after him. Again, those were signs of like, it's your fault. It's my family's fault and not my fault for the way I treat them. So it's just so scary that, women are put in that position. I'm very careful because if you don't know, I used to be in a very long relationship. I was in a relationship for 6 years with someone until 2013, and I was married, and then I got divorced, and I always felt like I was always, well, he made me feel like I was always the bad guy in the relationship. Everything I did was always the bad guy. The way I dressed, I was wrong for dressing the way I dressed. Not that I dressed provocatively, because I didn't. I never did. I was always the bad person for talking to another guy, even on Facebook. I was the bad person for doing whatever it was. It was just part of manipulation and control, and people do that when they're very insecure with themselves. But obviously, when you're young, like I was, you don't realize it. You always think, oh, what am I doing? And, am I not loving him enough? I always thought, why is he, not loving me enough? And what I learned in the end was that he didn't love himself enough, to love me. That relationship kind of made me the person that I am today, and I really I actually thank him for making me the strong person that I am today. Sometimes I am too strong for my own good, sometimes, because there's been a couple of good people in my life that I've kind of let go from the fear of of thinking that I'm gonna hurt them, because again, back then this guy always made me feel like I was always hurting him, but really it was the other way around. You know what I mean? So that's part of manipulation. And with this relationship that I had, it took me it was very tragic. Um, it probably took me like 2 years to get over, and this is something that I really couldn't really talk about because it was such a sensitive topic. It doesn't bother me really like it used to, because when I did talk about it, I would like break down in tears if I was talking about it too long. But yeah, it was kind of like a death. I was mourning a death, because that's what it felt like when it was all over, because it kind of felt like he abandoned me. And it's I'm trying to explain myself of the situation. We basically broke up online and through emails. It did end up in bad terms, obviously, because he ended up cheating on me, and he ended up marrying her. So it was worse for me because of the situation. You know, I was always the bad guy, and whatever I did wasn't enough. And then I ended up learning that he was with someone else in a different country because he was in the military. And he ended up like proposing to her, and he gave her the dress, and then all this stuff. And it was very, very devastating. So it was kind of like a tragic death to me, you know, the whole breakup. And especially when you meet someone when you're very, very young, you kind of just, you know, grow together. And I kind of saw him as like a child, like my kid. You know how you kind of train your boyfriend or whatever to be, you know, how you want him to be, and you teach him things that, you know, that he probably doesn't know about. Obviously, he taught me things too. He taught me how a girl should not be treated. So it kind of just felt like that. It kind of felt like he died. So it was like mourning and death for 2 years. And I went through everything. I went through the drugs. I went through like working out like 6 times a week, and I ended up getting sick over that. It was just stressful. I ended up in the hospital, and imagine being in the hospital and getting emails about, you know, divorce papers and stuff like that. And are you going to sign it? Hurry up. And you're still trying to, you know, get healthy from all the mental stress and what you're going through. And so I don't want to ramble so much. I am the person that I am because of that relationship. And it is very sad to me that I cannot, it's very hard to trust people now, especially if it was like a relationship. I don't even know what's good for me anymore, because I never know when the person either has good intentions or bad intentions. I always have that fear of like, what are they gonna do to me? Are they gonna hurt me? Are they gonna cheat on me? It's crazy. And of course, everyone says, oh, but you know, all the guys are not the same. There's good guys out there. I know that. I know there's good guys out there, and it's crazy because I would like to be in a relationship, and I would like to start a family. But I think it was very important to me back then to heal mentally, emotionally, and all that good stuff before getting into a relationship. I think that healing process, whatever it had to be, it had to happen. And I think as a woman, I want to tell other women that don't be forced to do things that you don't want. Like, be aware of how a man treats you, because everybody has their own mentality of love and how love should be. And love is not manipulating you. Love is not blaming you for their problems. Love is not hurtful. So that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hearing me out. And on to the next video. Bye, guys.
It's a revolution.